www.onecast.in, numeral1cast.in. Tell your friends and family across the country if they're tech freaks, gadget freaks. And immediately after Nishant Padhiar is Shapur Kotwal, Deputy Editor of Autocar India magazine, editor of What Car magazine, with his best cars of 2018. Ayaz Memon is in Alibag, so we're going to have to wait for the best in sport year 2018. Hope to have him back either day after or day after, the moment he's back from his wonderful little sojourn at his getaway. So the year-ender episodes have started on a roll with Nishant Padhiar. Last two gadgets now on this gig.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
So Apple fanboy.
Again, you're maligning my name. I'm just
3 new iPhones in 2018, man. I
It's
mean,
never happened before, yeah.
yeah, Apple fanboys all orgasming all over the planet, and the XR was the more affordable and had the best battery life. But what we're going with is the iPhone XS Max.
Yes, the XS Max to be more precise,
XS
because
Max,
they really are very anal about how we pronounce their names. But yeah, I mean, the reason why I've stuck to this device, I mean, apart from being embedded into the Apple ecosystem, which is very, very hard to get out of. It's almost like sinking sand, and the more the devices you experiment with, the deeper you sink into the entire ecosystem. But the XS Max, I actually... is a device for the ages, because honestly it has a processor, the 812 again, which is so far ahead of its time in terms of processing power. It's ahead of any of the Android competition right now. Again, in terms of pure horsepower, with what you can do with it, especially if you're into multitasking. If you have social media open on one side, you have Photoshop Express running on the other side, you have iMovie, which is a movie editing software, on the other side. It can run all these multiple streams without any stuttering. And that really is the beauty of the iPhone XS, that it just works. I mean, like in the famous words of Steve Jobs, a lot of the new Apple devices have not kept up to that mandate, but this really comes back full circle. And it just works.
So what? Dual rear cameras, improved cellular antennas, obviously a durable construction. Let me have a look at the screen. Nicer OLED display.
Yeah, I mean, it's an OLED display, and this is in fact the biggest OLED screen Apple has ever made. I mean, because it's in the XS Max, guys. You really can't get a bigger iPhone than this right now, and it might be a bit unwieldy to hold for a lot of people, because especially for me as well, because I have small hands, and which is why I tend to use a cover, which I've never done with any Apple device earlier. But it's just so gorgeous, you don't want to drop it, and it does cost a fortune to repair. But apart from that, the screen is unbeatable in terms of its naturalness, in terms of its realism and accuracy. I mean, for me, because again, I'm a magazine man, colors and proofreading is very important to us, especially how the colors look on a cover, for example. And you put the cover of the magazine on the iPhone XS, you put the cover on the iPad Pro, you put the cover on the MacBook. They are pitch perfect. I mean, the red won't even change a shade between devices to devices. So if you are a professional, again, which is why I think a lot of photographers tend to use iPads and then obviously iPhones, because the color accuracy is unbeatable.
So it's obviously a specialty product, because if you have money to burn, you will buy it. And there's no 128 GB version at all. This is only a 256, right? Yeah.
They've jumped from 64 to 256 and a 512, which is this. And obviously in the 512 variant, it is ridiculously expensive. In the XS Max, it tops out at about 1,44,900, which is a lot of money to pay for a smartphone, especially if you are tending towards replacing your phones every year. This really won't allow you to do that. I mean, this is going to be with you for a while.
Let's sign off with what really is Amazon's determination to make Alexa the globe's voice assistant, or the nerve center of the home, and they're doing a pretty good job thus far. Yeah. So the Echo Plus 2.1.
I think it's a year where smart speakers came of age, because again, Apple could not launch the HomePod in India for whatever reason they have, but which is why I think Amazon had a huge head start for smart speakers. And the Echo Plus, which is the bigger model of the Echo, and especially in the 2.0 form factor, which is the new generation, it's a huge improvement over the earlier variant. It looks a lot more premium because it's covered in a nice cloth fabric, squishy, and also now you can actually buy a 2.1 system for the Echo Plus, which means that you can actually have two Echo Pluses. You can configure them in left or right channel mode, so you get stereo separation and much better imaging for music. And they also have launched a new subwoofer, so you can actually have some kicking low end bass to partner with it. So you can have a desktop system system, which is smart. You can have a whole house system, which is multi-room and smart. Or you can just have a single Echo Plus for much more personal, intimate listening experience.
So the voice control, I hope, is flawless, and they don't play Leo Cohen when you ask them to play Van Halen.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does happen because it's all about algorithms, and the more you speak to it, the more intelligent they get. But Echo, I think, is overall very well sorted because it has 7 mics, which are very well placed. So even in a noisy environment, it really picks out the speech from the ambient noise quite well. So it's pretty intelligent that way, and I think the voice is constantly improving. I think Amazon is one of the better ones to do that. Until now, we've not had a major glitch.
And sound very well distributed, yeah?
If you ask me as an audiophile, I really wouldn't buy a 45,000 rupee Amazon Echo Plus for its sound quality. Obviously, you would buy it for the convenience and the smartness. But it's not bad. I mean, I can live with it. I would just not buy it for music. I would buy it for its smartness.
Nishant, this has been a smart episode.
That's a nice way to end. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, man. Have a wonderful day and happy 2019, man.
Happy to all our listeners as well.
Messages and back with Shapur Kotwal.